Welcome back. It's time for our weekly energy update with Dan McTeague, president of Canadians for Affordable Energy. Take it away, Dan.
Well, thank you, Nathaniel. And yes, another interesting week developing on the energy front, which of course affects the price of everything. I know that some people think it's sort of a pigeonhole thing where it's only about energy, but I think many are concluding now that energy prices actually do matter. Even the types that believe that they don't, because they don't drive a vehicle, they don't go to a gas station, it doesn't somehow affect them. We all go to grocery stores, and we all know that the cost of our utilities, the cost of keeping warm, is extraordinarily challenging at this time, especially given that about 50% of Canadians are saying that's it. To make matters worse, of course, higher interest rates, a function of inflation, a function of the fact that Canada and the Canadian dollar continue to weaken in the face of the U.S. greenback, something that just didn't happen when we saw high energy prices back in the day, the 2011 to 2013 range, and again in 2008, when we saw these energy bubbles. Canadians got a bit of a benefit. The loonie did protect us because we were really the petrodollar. And that's critical to understand in terms of what we're seeing playing out right now, Nathaniel. We're going to be seeing what looks like about a 5 to 8 cent increase across the board over the next week. So while prices have moved up a little bit, whether you're in Vancouver, where prices are now pushing a lot closer to $1.82 from $1.75 last week, or whether you happen to be in Alberta, where you've been enjoying $1.25, $1.30 in some cases, look for that to increase about 5 cents a liter. Same for Saskatchewan. Similar to Winnipeg, although retail margins are very high there, I don't expect them to go more than 2 cents higher than what they are now at the $1.53 range, and $1.47, of course, in Saskatchewan. Ontario, though, is going to see 146.9 probably move to about $1.51 or $1.52, with Montreal and Quebec City moving from where they are today at the $1.62 range up to about $1.68, $1.69. And the Maritimes, which saw prices decrease last week, although radically, so in one case of Newfoundland, I know I pick on Newfoundland, but it's ironic. They actually wait because of the regulated system to continue to force people to pay higher prices than what the markets dictate until they get that 5-day average, and then suddenly they change prices. Again, no need for regulated prices when we have something called the internet. No need for regulated prices when you have everybody and their brother, including myself, going out predicting prices accurately throughout North America. But such is the case that Atlantic Canada, so Nova Scotia, PEI, Newfoundland, and of course New Brunswick, tend to get held to the highest prices simply because you have bureaucrats trying to second guess what the market is doing. And that's very damaging to a part of the country that can least afford it, and ultimately ranks among the highest costs for energy jurisdictions in North America. So perhaps if our friends here in the Maritimes are listening, maybe time to call your MLA, your MNA, your local representative and say, listen, we're grown-ups now. We don't need to have this security blanket and jobs for bureaucrats. Give us the price that markets suggest. We'll get that 2-day prediction, and that'll give us an opportunity to make decisions on our own rather than some bizarre formula that the public has to pay for, but never gets the chance to have any input on as far as transparency. So on any score, regulated prices don't work. They haven't worked. They've actually hurt consumers. And that's my comment for the day as far as Atlantic Canada is concerned. Mind you, I do say this directly to most media, Saltwire Media, the VOCM, NTV. So what I'm saying here to this audience here is that we're hoping that perhaps things will change in the Maritimes and that people will have a little bit more accountability and transparency in terms of prices. Now, for the longer term, with what Russia has done today, announcing a 500,000 barrel, 500,000 barrel on top of the 2 million OPEC plus reduction in output for March, I think that spells almost certainly an increase in prices. And watch March, April, and May, as we've been saying here for some time, that we do need to in fact see that there is going to be a change in the way in which the direction of prices take place. Investors, those passive on the side who are investing in oil and gas, are eventually going to have to understand that the excuses no longer matter, and that in fact supply and demand fundamentals, economic fundamentals, are going to have to prevail. And starting this week, we're going to start to see that slow but sure increase in prices, especially as we head towards March. So, Nathaniel, that's it for this week. Brace. If you can get gas up today or diesel up today, best we start doing that now, because next week is going to become less pleasant, and in the weeks to come, we're going to see prices go much higher than most of us had anticipated.
Thanks for that, Dan. Again, that was Dan McTeague, president of Canadians for Affordable Energy.